So, good morning, friends. Today's topic is how to find out the magnetic force on a current carrying conductor. So, let us see this explanation. So, topic is magnetic force experienced by a current carrying conductor. Hence, here we have to assume a conductor, good conductor, metallic conductor. Let me make a one diagram. So let this is a conductor AB, and this is the connecting wire, and I is the current which is flowing through it. This conductor is having the length L, and the electrons which are found inside it are moving with the speed that is called as the drift speed. Let this conductor is placed in a magnetic field. This magnetic field is into the page. This cross sign refers that the magnetic field is into the page. So, when any electron or a charged particle which is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. So, how much is the force experienced by the one electron or one electron? So, this we will writing as Fm, that is small f m, force experienced by an electron. And this is equals to Q V B. This is the first equation. So we can write it as also Q, and as the electron speed is the drift speed, so we can have to replace it or cross B. Okay, so here also there is a cross sign, so better we will mention here so that we can get the correct concept. So Q equals to VD cross B. So this is our main equation for any electron which is moving in a conductor and experiencing the force. So since this conductor containing the n electrons, so total number of electrons which are present in this conductor is given by N A L, where N refers the number of electron density. So we can write it as number density, number of electron density. So what do we call this? That is number of electrons per unit length. Okay, so number of electron density or the number density, which is the number of electrons per unit length. A is the area of cross section. This is the area of cross section, and L is the length of the conductor. So this AL segment, okay, so volume is equals to AL. So this refers the total number of electrons. So what is the total number of electron? Capital N. This is equals to small n, capital A, small n, capital N. This is your equation number 2. So the total number of electrons will also experience the force because there are n number of electrons. So therefore the total force experienced by all the electrons will be equals to this number of electrons, capital N, into the force experienced by the one electron. So number of electrons and the force experienced by the one electron. So let me put the value here, N A L. This is for the total number of electrons from equation 2, and Fm, that is from first equation. Okay, so let me write this as the first equation. So this becomes Q VD cross B. So let me arrange it. This is our third equation. Arrange this equation Q N A L VD cross B. Now if I replace this charged particle by the electron, because here the charged particle is the electron, so we will write it as E, and since its charge is negative, so we can write it as negative N A V D L cross B. There is a purpose behind it, the way we are writing here, correct? Now negative sign, actually here mention it, negative sign comes because the current carrying element and the drift speed, they are opposite to each other. Negative sign, that the VD and the current carrying element. So what is the current carrying element? I and the L length. Okay, so current carrying element, that is the length. Okay, they are in opposite direction. So we can say negative sign, that is the drift speed, and the current, they are opposite to each other. So current alone is not to be taken, that is the IDL, or we are knowing it that the source of the magnetic field in a current carrying conductor in an infinitely long wire, which we have seen it in the Biot-Savart law, is the IDL. So that concept is to be utilized here. Now if you see here this ENAVD, correct? If you remember this term, this is equals to, so we will write it here, I, this is equals to NAEVD. This is the relation between the current and the drift speed. So replace it by IL cross B. So this is the force which is experienced by the charged particle which is found in it, and this charged particle is in the form of a conductor. So conductor is experiencing the force because the electron, every electron will experience the force. Since electron cannot move outside, so it transmits its force to the conductor, and conductor will start moving. So the direction of this force, since we have to remember that this negative sign is due to the direction. Okay, so we have finally make it that the value of the magnitude value of the force is equals to IL cross B. If you replace this sign, then this becomes ILB sine theta, because cross, when you replace, then the sign terms. So this is the force experienced by the conductor when it is carrying a current. And if you ask then how to find out the direction of this force, so the direction of the force can be determined. The direction of force can be determined by using the Fleming's left hand rule. Correct? By Fleming's left hand rule. So if you remember Fleming's left hand rule, it was already spoken in the earlier topics we had discussed, that if we take our left hand and stretch in such a way that the index finger refers the direction of the magnetic field and the central finger refers the direction of the current, then the thumb will be the direction of the force. So here also if we apply it, the direction of the force will be out of the page, correct? Because now if you see here, the force will be actually the perpendicular to the plane of I, L and B, correct? So if we have the magnetic field, if we have the current carrying element, then the direction of force will be this. So with the help of the Fleming's left hand rule, then you can determine the direction of the force. So this is how the magnetic force can be experienced. We can derive it with the simple logic. Thank you very much.